Hi, I'm Nicole with SeniorSpotChicago.com, and today we're in Elgin, Illinois with Al and Maria at the Viking Thrift and Artwork store. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what's going on here?
Well, we have a really cool store, a 5,000 square foot warehouse with vintage clothing, custom-made art by Maria and local artists, electronics, tools, retro furniture, oddities, knickknacks, collectibles. I don't know if I said that already, but just tons of cool stuff.
There really is a lot of stuff. You have to like walk through here a few times to even get the feel of the store. So how long have you guys been here, Maria?
We opened in October.
In October of 2012.
Yes.
So a great time to stop in because there's a lot of new things yet that aren't picked over. So that's exciting stuff. I know that you have, you mentioned tools, Al, so how about you and I head on over to your tools section and we'll check that out.
Cool.
Okay? All right. Okay, so Al, we're over here in your tools section, which it looks like you have a lot of things to pick from, anywhere from nuts and bolts to screws to saws and everything. But I know that you wanted to feature a couple of things that you might find as kind of a pick here. You want to tell us what we have with these items?
Yes, we have some antique, massive planers. They're really cool, really old. You can't just find these in your ordinary store or order one of these.
So how much would you be asking for this type of antique?
This piece right here is $75.
Okay.
And so is this other massive one. And we also have this vintage engine analyzer.
Okay.
I think it's from the 70s, I believe, or late 60s.
Great.
And that's going for like $50.
Wow. So you got some real good finds here. And for any of the guys out there in Chicago who are looking for old tools and even some antiques, motor heads, things like that, great place to stop.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing, Al.
Thanks.
Okay, Maria, now we're over here in your clothing area of your large space that you guys have here. I know that you guys really specialize a lot in vintage clothing. Why don't you show us some pieces and tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. We do specialize in vintage, or since we're not that snobby, we don't say if it's not vintage, we won't take it. If it looks vintage, it's okay too. From party dresses to even like jumpers, some evening gowns, pants, shoes, everyday kind of dresses that pretty much every kind of woman can find something here, any size. That's a big point in my buying.
And these pastels are really in the spring too, so that's really kind of neat.
Yeah, I look for all sizes when I shop for vintage clothing.
Sure.
Not just the very small sizes, which are more common in other vintage stores. I myself don't fit in those clothes, so why I think everybody else does.
Right.
Even, coats. Most of our coats right now are between, they're $15 and under.
Wow. Okay.
And this is, a beautiful vintage coat.
That is a beautiful vintage coat with the texture and everything else. So now I know that there's some things that you don't actually carry here. What are those?
We don't carry children's clothes.
Okay.
Just because of floor space and there's little tiny clothes everywhere.
It's just not your specialty, is it?
No, right. It's just mostly adults, younger to mid-range 20s and up.
Okay.
Where you don't really get into like the tween.
Sure.
And younger.
Okay, great. We have a lot of great things to pick from here, and a lot of great shoes and accessories too. Purses,
and
jewelry. So that's great. Well, why don't we move on over and we'll check out your artwork next. Okay. Okay, Maria, let's talk about your artwork, because this is pretty exciting. It's really neat that you've taken a different view on thrift stores and artwork and kind of combined those together. So I know that you're the main artist here and that you have other artists too, but why don't you tell us about this piece?
This piece was originally in an art show in Michigan.
Okay.
It's my take on, a mosaic take on a piece that was, it's in the Gerald R. Ford Museum that my family had commissioned from Sicily.
Oh, wow.
This huge shrine, but it's since lost that tradition. They put it in a museum.
Okay.
I made it out of broken wine glasses and mirrors and whatever I could find around my house. It's actually the first mosaic that I've ever done.
Great.
So it was a learning experience.
Well, it really is a beautiful piece, and you know, you can find plenty of those around here, so definitely something to stop in. Make sure that you stop back out here at the Viking Thrift and Art Store here in Elgin, Illinois. Support our local new business and see what you can find at a deal tomorrow when you stop by.